and welcome to yet another episode of the PT special series for Polity. Now let's begin with the first topic today, that is Darkathan 2022, which has been organized by Narcotics Control Bureau, and the aim is to find solutions to counter drug trafficking through darknet across the globe. The Golden Triangle and the Golden Crescent are an actual drug problem to a country like India. The geopolitical situation is such that countries such as Punjab and the northeastern states are in the grip of drugs and narcotics. The number of drugs seizures from parcel or courier consignment has increased almost by 250% in India. That means the organization, the Narcotics Control Bureau, is working efficiently in this. Most of them are linked to drug trafficking through darknet markets, which are working away from the side of the government. Also, the competitors will identify the catalog darknet market selling drugs, whatever is operating with the help of internet, in order to have an easy procurement for illegal drugs is going to be under it. Identify drug traffickers who are based in India and the drugs on sale and digital footprint of active drug traffickers, because right now everything is digital. Even if you make a call, you WhatsApp or text, that comes under the eyes of the internet in general, and that hidden by the government is darknet. The IT Act of 2000 Act, it deals with the cybercrime in India. And also, if we talk about darknet, the internet basically consists of 3 layers. Most of the layer of the internet is darknet. First, in public is 4% of the entire internet. Then second layer is the deep web, which provides access to a specific group of people. You see, only 4% is in front of our eyes, which is very scary indeed. So if prelims ask about the percentage of the first layer, that is in public, it's 4%. The data is sensitive and private, government private data, bank data, cloud data, and these are kept out of reach of the general public. Third is the darknet, which is a part of the deep web, and it is encrypted and accessible only by using special software like TOR or 12p, Invisible Internet Project. So if it is asked in the prelims, the Onion Router and 12p, suppose 12p, these are related to which of the following? Darknet or deep web will be the answer. It offers a high degree of anonymity, and it offers the activities, it offered the activities during the Arab Spring. So it is very important to understand how the internet works if we have to be diligent with our work in the current scenario. Let's talk about Narcotics Control Bureau. I hope you have taken this screenshot. It was founded in the year 1986, and it's India's central law enforcement agency and intelligence agency. It works under the Ministry of Home Affairs because drug trafficking is an internal security challenge. That is why Ministry of Home Affairs is the correct answer. Combating drug trafficking and the use of illegal substance under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1985. So you see, it is built under the act. It was established under an act. It is also represented on the Economic Intelligence Council. So this is a preliminary fact which could be tricky if you do not know the statement. It's outside the ambit of the Right to Information Act of 2005. Is NCB under the, if it is asked in the prelims, if the question goes like, which of the following organizations are outside the ambit of Right to Information Act? RAW, then we have other intelligence agencies, NCB, because NCB is an intelligence agency. It cannot just proliferate whatever information it has. So that outside the purview of Right to Information Act. Now, DigiSaksham Programme, let's know about it. DigiSaksham Programme is a platform to enhance youth employability. If it is asked in prelims, what is it related to? Youth employability. Launched by Union Labour Ministry and Microsoft India. Both are important here because if it is asked in prelims, the founders or launchers of this program, Labour Ministry and Microsoft, not Facebook, not other than anything other than Microsoft. Okay, it is an extension of the ongoing program to support youth who belong to rural communities and semi-urban areas. Free of cost training will be provided in the digital skills for like basic computing, advanced computing, both. And job seekers of semi-urban area, because they want to diversify their skill, Right now, skill is the most important thing in the digital arena. So for that, those who have lost their jobs due to COVID-19, and COVID-19 has exacerbated digitization of the economy for that as well. Okay, moving on, training is to be conducted at the Model Career Center and National Career Service Center for SC/STs. Job seekers can access training through National Career Service portal, and the portal is a one-stop solution that provides an array of employment opportunities, also other career related services to the citizen of India. So remember about the NCS portal as well. Moving on, the program will be implemented by Aga Khan Rural Support Program India, and the acronym is this. So if the implementation agency is asked in prelims, that is a possibility. This is the answer, which is a non-denominational, non-governmental development organization. Is it a statutory body, constitutional body, executive body? No, it's a non-denominational government, non-governmental body. It works for the betterment of rural community by providing direct support to the local communities who are looking for employment opportunities. Now let's talk about State Health Index. Niti Aayog has released the 4th edition of State Health Index for 2019-20. Who publishes this State Health Index? Ministry of Health and Health first, Ministry of Women and Child Development, Ministry of some other ministry you can say. Then we have UNESCO, Niti Aayog, anything could be asked. So Niti Aayog is the correct answer. The title of the report was Healthy States, Progressive India. This could be asked in prelims, the theme or the report title. It has been developed by Niti Aayog. The technical assistance has been given by World Bank. This is an important, very important part of the entire segment with respect to State Health Index, I must say, because it could be confusing if I put IMF here or UNESCO here or UN here. But World Bank is there, the technical assistance, and the consultation was done with, of course, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Okay, moving on. Now, it ranks the states and the union territories on their incremental performance. If they are increasing their performance, growing in their performance with respect to health outcomes, and what are their overall status. The categories are divided into three different categories: larger states, smaller states, and union territories, because every state is different in nature and they have different amenities. So equals have to be treated in the equal categories. So that is why we have it. Weighted composite index is based on 3 domains. Another important factor for prelims. Health outcome is one of those. Then governance and information, and key inputs and processes. Remember these. Take a screenshot. I'm moving away. Moving on to the next set. The top ranking states. This could be asked in prelims. Another very important fact. Larger states. In larger states, who all have performed well? Kerala is the topmost. Then we have Tamil Nadu, and then we have Telangana. In smaller states, Mizoram and Tripura are standing, and for union territories, Dadra and Nagar Haveli has done very well, and Daman and Diu, also Chandigarh, has done very well. Okay, the top ranking states. In terms of annual incremental performance, that means they are growing very well. In larger, so don't get confused between these two. Okay, larger states, UP, Assam and Telangana. For smaller states, Mizoram and Meghalaya. So Mizoram is standing here. Okay. For union territories, Delhi is increasing its performance very well, and Jammu and Kashmir is also there. Also, West Bengal has not featured in the index. Which state was kept? Which state kept itself out? West Bengal. Ladakh was not included due to non-availability. So if it is asked in the prelims examination, so you know which states were not featured. Health is the subject of state list. Now clamor is growing for including it in the concurrent list because of COVID. The index is an example of both competitive and cooperative federalism. Okay, any index is actually right now good for both competitive and cooperative federalism. State Energy and Climate Index. Let's talk about that. Now, Niti Aayog has launched the first State Energy and Climate Index. This could be a very, very, very important question if you do not know the correct, launcher of this program. It could be like Bureau of Energy Efficiency, Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, or some other like WWF, World Wildlife Fund. But the correct answer would be Niti Aayog. Aim is to track the efforts which are made by the states and union territories in the climate sector, and the overall national ACCI score is 40.6. This is a number that could be asked in prelims. More than half of the states have scored higher than the average, a statement that could be asked in prelims. more than half of the states have scored lower than the national average, which will be wrong because they have scored higher. Index has been based on the performance on 6 parameters. What are these 6 parameters? This could be asked in prelims. The parameters also become a question. Performance of discoms, that is power distribution company. What is the access, affordability and reliability of energy? Have there any clean energy initiatives been taken? What is the energy efficiency, environmental sustainability, and if there are any new initiatives that have been taken? Okay, moving on to the next part. On the basis of the index scores, states and union territories, these are categorized into 3 ones: front runners, achievers and aspirants. Front runners who have done very well, achievers who are trying to achieve and they have achieved, and aspirants who are still to be achievers, they are aspiring but not achieved yet. Ranking categories on the basis, see, for SECI scores, once the outcomes have come, the outcome has come, then the division takes place. And ranking, in order to make this division possible, ranking is done on larger, smaller and union territories, of course. For Gujarat, it's 50.1. Kerala and Punjab, these are the top 3 performers in the category of larger states. So Gujarat, done well, much above the national average. Then Kerala and Punjab, top 3 performers. Then we have Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. These are the top bottom 3 states. Okay, so top might not be asked. Prelims is a very tricky game. Bottom ones might be asked. So Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh is the correct answer. Now Goa in the category of smaller states, it has done very well, and it was followed by Tripura and Manipur. In union territories, Chandigarh performs well, and Delhi and Daman Diu, also Dadra and Nagar Haveli, they have performed very well. Then Chandigarh has topped the index with a score of 55.7. Now you must know that this is very hard to remember, right? But still, if you revise on a daily basis, you will get to know it. Lakshadweep has the lowest score, highest and lowest. Index is based on the data of the year 2019 to 2020. Okay, moving on, let's talk about Global Innovation Index of 2021. Innovation is a very important part, integral part of the current world. And India has done very well, and it has climbed 2 spots and ranked 46th in the ranking of 2021. Ranks can be asked straightforwardly, so you have to remember. Who has launched this? Because it is related to innovation. That means World Intellectual Property Organization also has to, definitely has to be a part of it, because it is related to innovation. Innovation is related to intellectual property, and it is a specialized agency of the UN. Sometimes it can be asked, World Intellectual Property Organization is a specialized agency of the UN. That is correct, because it is. And GII is published by WIPO in partnership with the Confederation of Indian Industry. Okay, of course, because in industry we have innovation. So that's the first thing. And the index, it ranks 132 world economies according to the innovation capabilities. It relies on 81 category of groups which are grouped into innovation inputs and innovation output. Input includes institution, also human capital, these are the inputs, of course, and research, what we are putting in them. Infrastructure, what is the market sophistication and business sophistication. Output would be knowledge and technology, what result we got, that is knowledge and technology, what new technology we have built. Creative outputs, top 5 countries, Switzerland does very well, Sweden, US, UK and the Republic of Korea, that is South Korea. Korea has joined the top 5 of the innovation index for the first time in 2021. This becomes a good question for prelims. Okay, apart from this, and this becomes a good question, top 5, it could be asked you to rank them in the correct order, or which country has joined the top 5 in GII for the first time ever. Let's move on and talk about the next thing. India has shot up from rank of 81 in 2015. That was almost 6 years back from the year we collected the correct rank here. 46. Earlier it was 81. Now it has become 46. India performs better in innovation outputs than in inputs. We have better outputs. We are not putting a lot of inputs. This is according to this data, but we are getting very good outputs. Just imagine if we put better inputs. India ranks second among the 34 lower middle income countries, and India has ranked first in the 10 economies in Central and South Asia. India, Kenya, and Republic of Moldova and Vietnam, they hold the record for overperforming on innovation relative to their level of development. Okay, so it could be asked, apart from India, and Kenya. Which are the other countries who have performed very well despite their development capabilities in the GII, that is Global Innovation Index? Republic of Moldova and Vietnam would be the correct answer. Moving on, let's talk about Human Development Index of 2020. And this Human Development Index and the organization which publishes it is United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. First rank, Norway. India's rank is 131. Not a very good performer here. And how many countries are ranked? 189. India is 131 in the index HDI of 2020. Last rank has been conquered by Niger. Criteria is 3 different criteria. This becomes a very important prelims questions if parameters or criteria are asked. So remember these. Health, human development. Health is the most important. To live a good life, we need education. And of course, good life. So if I am healthy and I am well educated, my standard of living will be high. So these are the 3 criteria. Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about Global Peace Index. Who publishes it? Institute of Economic and Peace. Okay, remember economic and peace. Whenever there is economic prosperity, peace is a better outcome. Peace is a more expected outcome. Whenever you will see there is no economic activity or there is a vacuum of economic activity, it is filled by radicalism. So like that you can remember Institute of Economics and Peace. Top 3 ranked countries: Iceland, peaceful country; New Zealand and Denmark. India's rank is very, very low. 135 out of 163 countries. Least peaceful is, of course, the Taliban usurped the power in Afghanistan since then. Next moving on is 3 key domains: ongoing conflict, safety and security, and militarization. Ongoing conflict still going on. Safety and security is getting hurdled, and because of that, militarization of the region is taking place. So this is the way you can remember it. Now GPI, it covers 99.7% of the world's population, most of the world population. For South Asia, India has moved up 2 notches from its previous year's ranking to become the 135th most peaceful country in the world and the 5th in the region. Okay, so understand 135th most peaceful still is not a very good rank. Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are at the top 4 in the region. So sometimes it could be asked, which of the following countries have performed well or better than India? So you have to know the ranking of the neighboring countries of India as well. Pakistan is 6th in the region. Okay, so region wise we are talking about here. Next is World Press Freedom Index of 2021, which has been published by Reporters Sans Borders, Reporters Without Borders, and this is the 20th index. Norway is a very well developed country. Actually, that is why it performs so well. India's rank is just 150 out of 180. Okay, and the evaluation is based on 5 indicators. First is political context, then legal framework. Political context, because I'm a journalist, I'm a reporter, I have to look towards my political structure. If I get my rights infringed upon, I have to look towards the legal structure. Economic context, if I'm paid well. And socio-cultural structure, what is my standing in the society and what is my safety? Norway, Denmark, Sweden and Estonia and Finland, they grabbed the top position. And North Korea has remained at the bottom. We all know the status of North Korea, no need to explain this. Moving on, let's talk about South Asia. Nepal is 76th, climbed up by 30 points. Nepal has done well, better than India. Pakistan is at 157th position, below India. Sri Lanka is also, I guess it is below or above India. Let's see. Yes, 150 was the position of India. Now Sri Lanka has performed better than India. Then Bangladesh has performed not better or worse than India. Myanmar, extremely worse. China was ranked 175th. So China is not ranking better than India here. I'm saying better and worse because I know these kind of questions would be asked. World Press Freedom Day is celebrated on 3rd May and it was proclaimed by United Nations General Assembly only in the year 1993 by the recommendation of UNESCO. Who recommended it? UNESCO. It marks the 1991 Windhoek Declaration. So have to remember this. You have to. And theme for 2022 is journalism under digital siege. Siege means the entire world has been captured by digitization. That is why. Now let's know about Corruption Perception Index of 2021. Now this is reported or published by Transparency International. Corruption and transparency. If there is no transparency, there will be corruption. So that is why Transparency International. Top 3 rankers: New Zealand, Finland and Denmark. And India is 85 out of 180. Remember this very well. The ranking of India is very important. Based on perceived levels of public sector corruption. Uses a scale of 0 to 100. 0 is highly corrupt and 100 is very clean. India's CPI score is not very good, 40. Now, except Bhutan, all of India's neighbors are below it. So, which country is above India with respect to corruption perception index? Bhutan is doing great. Moving on, more than 2/3 of the country, they have secured below 50. That shows us the global or political situation in the world. Average global score is static at 43. Okay, and India's rank has improved. So you also have to be careful about in which index India is improving and in which it is not improving. So improved by 1 place to 85 in 2021 from 86. It was 86 in 2020. From 86 to 81, just 1 position, just 1 point more. Ease of doing business index of 2021. Of course, who brings it? World Bank. First position has been secured by which country? New Zealand. This is an important fact. India's rank is just 63 and it was discontinued because there were supposedly irregularities in the data between the year 2018 and 2020. That is why Georgelina was in charge of the report back then, and that is why it was her as a figure in IMF was also questioned. Global Competitiveness Report of 2019. Okay, who publishes it? World Economic Forum. So this can become a competitive question. World Intellectual Property Organization is a very you can see because it is related to competition. So WIPO can also hold a place in the options given. So, but it is brought out by World Economic Forum. And first ranker is Singapore. India's rank is 68. Okay, and the Global Competitiveness Index. So you have to remember these two. Report is a different one, index is a different one. Be very careful when you read the questions. Don't get confused, okay? Because these are not something that you can't do. These are something that you will make a silly mistake in. Index is brought out by International Institute for Management Development. Some of you might even have not even heard of this institute. That is why it is important for you to remember this. And first ranker is Switzerland. India's rank is 43. I'm sure you are getting confused between the report and the index, but look at it again. Okay, and it measures the prosperity and competitiveness of the countries by 4 parameters. What is the country doing economically? And because it is related to competition, you are competing with your friend in terms of salary, your economics is there. Government efficiency, is the government doing enough for economic prosperity? Businesses, what is the case of business? And what is the infrastructure? Business will do well only when they have good infrastructure, right? And among the BRICS nations, India, this is it could be either regional or in the multilateral organization. India ranks second after China. Okay, so in BRICS, China has done very good in the index of global competitiveness. After that, we have our country. Moving on, let's talk about the top economies. This is something that has to be screenshot. Switzerland is first, then we have Sweden, Denmark, then Netherlands. Top performing Asian economies. This is very important. This slide is extremely important. Top performing Asian economies include Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and China. And Singapore was first in the 2020 Global Competitiveness Index. Okay, so that's it for today. Next time we will bring out more episodes of different segments. This was the last for Polity. Thank you so much for watching.